of Jamie's Eats and Sweets, and she'll be talking about Thanksgiving dessert making. Take it away, Jamie.
All right, thank you guys for having me. So like you said, I'm Jamie Lankford from Jamie's Eats and Sweets. We're just down the road. If you're looking for us, all you have to do is look for the pink door. So if you find the pink door, then you found me. And we're gonna do a couple of Thanksgiving desserts. One of them is gonna be a new recipe that we've just started doing at the cafe, which is called like a pumpkin fluff pie. So it's pretty fun. I've got most of my stuff measured out, but it starts out with a whipped cream. If any of you have been to these before, you know that I really like my whipped cream based pies. So that's what I'm gonna start out with. And so I'm just pouring about half a cup of heavy whipping cream down in here. And I'm just gonna let this start mixing, and I'm gonna start speaking up because it's about to be loud. Maybe. Just kidding. This one's on. That's on. This should be on.
Was it not working?
There we go. No, it's just a delay.
Oh.
She's been through a lot already this morning. She doesn't want to cooperate. It's okay. Me either, babe. We've already been baking this morning. So I'm just basically going through and just starting out with just like a whipped cream. So we're just getting that kind of stiff. I'm going to go in and add about a half a cup of powdered sugar once I turn it down. That way I don't make a whole mess. Because been there, done that. That's probably more than a cup. I measured with my heart, you guys. I'm sorry. So got about probably 3/4 of a cup in there now. We're just gonna get that whipped. I'm gonna add just a little bit of vanilla into this, and this is just gonna be like the base kind of our pie that we got on here. I messed up because I need to save some of this. And so this is just again just the whipped cream. So we've got the heavy whipping cream, we've got the powdered sugar, we've got a little bit of vanilla, and then from there we're gonna go ahead and add some more stuff. But I know we're talking about like Thanksgiving dessert things. So I know we have somebody with more experience in the room today as far as things go, catering wise and everything else. But is there anything that either me or Miss Deborah can help answer as far as like Thanksgiving dessert questions anybody has? Anything in particular? That's right, it's worth a shot. But so yeah, so this is like a pumpkin fluff pie. So if you wanted like a lighter version of like a pumpkin pie, this is one of the ways that it's kind of fun to do it. So you can do this simpler by just mixing like together the pumpkin and then like marshmallow fluff if you wanted to. This is just kind of adding another layer to kind of that stuff. So while this whips, I'm actually going to go through and unwrap my pie crust that I did earlier. I was soon to be learning about you guys. So I'm unwrapping this. So this is just a pre-made graham cracker pie crust. We got this one already. And if you want to make your own graham crackers, like a few tablespoons of butter and some sugar and like food processor if you want, or if you want to use a Ziploc bag and just like, smash it up really good, then you can just crush it in. You've got options as far as pie crust goes. But this one's just a pre-made graham cracker pie crust. Totally okay. Totally tastes good. Highly good. And this is just a homemade caramel sauce. You can do this with just an absolute, like, just get some caramel from the store. By all means, super easy to do. This one is made with a little bit of heavy whipping cream and some sweet condensed milk. And so we just cook down the sweet condensed milk, make it caramel, added the heavy whipping cream, kind of help thin it out. And I'm just going to pour this in the bottom of the pie. So I'm just going to pour that in there, let it kind of spread out. Don't want to do too much. And so this is just kind of going to be the base. This is just going to add another little layer of flavor. You could also do this with like a maple sauce if you wanted to take like some maple syrup and some heavy whipping cream and cook that down. You can get another really fun way to add another little bit of flavor to that. We do a lot of maple glaze on our pumpkin rolls and on our pumpkin cheesecakes that we do at the cafe. So I also think that would be fun with this recipe. But you do it. And so I'm whipping this up. For anyone that's ever made whipped cream before, that's why I'm shortening it out, because I keep not going down slowly. But you know, you really want those stiff peaks. So that's kind of what we're going for. No, I don't know if it's going to pick that up, but I'm going to show it anyway. And so I'm going to take part of this. Let that go out.
I'll collect it clean if you want.
Thank you for that. Always got to have a good taste tester in the room. That's what I'm saying, you know?
That's what I was to my mom.
Here, honey. That's good.
And so I'm going to save some of this. We're going to top off the pie with this, but I'm just going to scrape the sides down of this. And then I've already got my marshmallow fluff and my pumpkin measure it out. Told you I was gonna make a mess. Okay. So I'm gonna put the pumpkin in here. And this is about a cup of pumpkin that goes in here. About a half a cup of marshmallow fluff. So I'm gonna empty these guys down in here. You gotta have this again. You gotta watch out for me, I'll lose stuff. But I'm gonna put that back in here and we're just gonna whip this back up again and just let it all kind of combine. Now, if you wanted to leave it like this, you could, and it would just be like a sweeter pumpkin pie. If you want to go through and add like the spices and things in, you could add like a mix of like cinnamon and nutmeg if you wanted. You could also just go in and add pumpkin pie spice. It's all just a matter of kind of like how you want your pie. As far as flavors go, add as much of that in as you want. Some people are like, I just want like a teaspoon of pumpkin spice spice. Some people are like, I want a tablespoon. It all just a matter of like what you're looking for and what you're wanting to serve, or just what you want to eat. This also works really good as a dip. If you wanted to take this and just like put it in a bowl with like some graham cracker dip, like crackers or little shortbread crackers, so good. You could even go through and like top it off with like little chocolate chips and things like that if you wanted, little cinnamon chips. It's one of those like super versatile recipes, which is one of the things that I absolutely love about whipped cream pies. Because you can take a big of a pie, or you can take a big of a dip. You can take them and puff them in and make like little trifles with them if you wanted. Like if you had like pumpkin cake, you could like layer that in between. So, I don't know. It's just fun to do. I love anything that you can take and make into like multiple different things. So.
Could you do a sweet potato with that?
You could do sweet potato with this. Yeah. It'd be really good. Sounds really good actually. Kinda want that now.
Yeah, I think my mom might have done that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Mom likes doing everything old fashioned.
Sweet potatoes are definitely one of those really functional little root guys.
Talking about Thanksgiving dessert and sweet potato pie sweet potatoes are part of Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anything you can use all the way across the table is fun. Does anybody eat mashed like pumpkin in here? Has anybody ever had that before? It is so
I am
good.
from Tennessee. I used to drink water out of a hose.
I literally love like just mashed pumpkin. Take it and like just put a little salt, pepper, butter on it. Put that on your Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, it's so good. The first time I ever had that, I was actually on a mission trip in Africa, and they served me up smashed pumpkin, and I was just like, "This is my new favorite thing." And so I've been making it ever since. Oh man, so cooperating. And so hold on, I did not show this to you guys. So I'm just gonna go through and just kind of like mix the rest that it didn't come off the edge, and I'm just gonna pour this straight in. Now this is going to be a sweeter one. As you know, I didn't have any of the spices in it. But we've got the whipped cream in there. We've got the caramel sauce. If you have a thicker caramel sauce than the one that I'm using, it'll stay in the bottom. This one is a much runnier caramel sauce at the moment. But it's still really yummy. And so it's kind of coming up here on the edge. And so I got this. And you can fill these crusts as much as you want. I'm gonna leave that one there because I'm gonna go back through and I'm gonna top it with fresh whipped cream. We saved this earlier, so I'm just gonna plop this on. And like I said, another fun way to like finish this off would be to go through and like top it with like some fresh cinnamon sugar or like a little pumpkin pie spice. And that would be like a fun way to like garnish the top of it. You could also do it with like fresh shaved white chocolate if you wanted. Lots of fun ways to do things. But I'm leaving it like this one for right now. But with everything, feel free to make it your own. That's just kind of like a simple little pumpkin fluff pie. I'm gonna go through and cut up some little. Did I bring bowls and not forks?
I can
I did.
use some plastic forks.
I would love.
Yeah, of course. I'll be right back.
I'm a disaster. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But I'm gonna cut some of these up for you guys. Let you guys try it. And we're gonna go from there. And once again, I'm gonna ask if anybody has any questions. You don't want it?
But she's saying I can have hers.
Her.
Pumpkin pie is my favorite.
Pumpkin pie is so good. So I actually used to like hate pumpkin pie. Like I didn't like it for a long time. And then, as is the thing with a lot of things, there was this guy I liked And I was like, hey, like, what's like your favorite dessert? And I was like, I'm gonna make it. And he was like, oh, I love pumpkin pie. And I was like, seriously? And so I went through and I like learned how to make pumpkin pie after that. And then I showed up and I was like, hey, here's pumpkin pie. He's like, wow. Nothing happened after that. He just ate my pumpkin pie. But it was worth a shot. Gotta try anything once.
Well, they say the easiest way into a man's heart is through his stomach.
Yeah, you know, they say that. My husband's diabetic. I just hasn't worked for me.
You have to learn how to do diabetic things.
Oh yeah, I do sugar-free stuff, but he's always just like, I'll just eat the regular thing and like a little bit of that and then go
At least
from
he
there.
doesn't eat up your profits.
Honestly. He doesn't hang out in the cafe a whole lot, but I always think that's always funny and everybody's like, oh wow, like your husband must love what you make. No. No.
Does the caramel sauce sort of go into the crumbs?
Yes.
Okay, cause I expected to see that running around.
Yeah. So it kind of soaks into the crust a little bit. It does tend to get a little runny whenever you have mine. Because like I said, mine's a little runnier. I tend to use it more as a drizzle than anything else. I'm not gonna do that. I already messed that up. But if you got like a thicker one, it would stay together a little bit better.
No, I don't see any and I expected to see it.
That's fair. That's because it's immediately fresh. From mixed straight to you, babe. So Robin, do you want one or not? Okay.
Give it to him.
Oh, come.
I think I'll stay.
There you go. Oh, you're good, babe. Don't worry. I can move around.
Yeah,
It's William.
Spencer.
Spencer, dang. Do you want one?
Sure.
I got two in my backpack.
So like I said, this one's pretty simple. But you can always jazz it up with spices. Spices are fantastic. Use them liberally. Alright. Pumpkin fluff pie. There you go. No problem. Enjoy.
Good. Very, very delicious.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, so that's the pumpkin fluff pie. That's the first one for today. And then, what do you say?
Said, how many are you gonna make?
I only gonna do two. I'm only gonna do two. I didn't go totally crazy today, I promise. I've been known to do that, but not so. Alright. So, does anybody in here know anything about like French pastry at all? Alright.
Only what I learned from you.
Fair enough, thanks. So, French pastry, it's International Education Week at Ball State. And so we've actually partnered with them this week to do like a bunch of international like dishes kind of at their campus. So this morning we sent out a bunch of Irish scones, we sent out like gur cakes, which are kind of like a fruit cake situation with like a short crust pastry on the top and bottom. We did the palmiers, we did lemon tarts, we did a bunch. We had like a long list of things we did for them this morning, but all those went out at 11 a.m. and then I'm here at noon. And so the palmiers are one of those things, and I'm gonna let you guys snack on these if you want while we do them. But I'm coming around again. So these are essentially just like a puff pastry that has been coated and lined with cinnamon sugar. And then you just go through and bake them. Another term for these are elephant ears.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, enjoy. And so I have one of my friends named Caleb, he loves making these. And so he did a bunch of them for Olivia, who's one of the girls that works for us. She got married earlier this year and he made a ton of these. And I kind of fell in love with them then. And so whenever they were like International Week at Ball State, they're like, we want you to do so. And I was like, palmiers, let's go. And so this is a short, easy way to do them at home. You can make your own puff pastry if you want. It's a lot of laminating dough and layers of butter. So we're not doing that today because that would take so long.
You have a machine
So
at
we're
the
cheating. I do not have a machine at the shop. Everything we do at the shop is done like by hand. There's not a whole lot of space in the shop if you've ever been in. I don't know those of you that have, but it's smaller than this room. I feel like maybe not actually. It's just really long and thin. So like we have like a little line for people to like run to the bathroom, and then we have like countertops that are all toolboxes, and then we have our kitchen that has like 2 prep tables, 2 big ovens, and a big fridge, and then like a little espresso fridge on the side for like espresso drinks. And that's all I got. So there's like 1 big mixer. This is one of the KitchenAid mixers we have, and we've got 2 others. And that's about all we got machine-wise in the shop. So everything else is kind of done by hand. So I don't really have a good laminating dough machine either, but I've seen them and I'm jealous of other bakers that have them.
I want one.
So bad.
Not that I have absolutely any use for one, but I keep thinking I want one.
It's like a pasta maker. Like you always want one, and it's like you get it and you don't always use it, but there are people that do. I just haven't. I haven't.
Well,
bought
they're
one.
saying the pasta makers, you can use them to
Laminate the dough.
laminate your
Yeah,
dough.
that's how.
Thinking about it.
We got this.
I'm
We
gonna
got
figure
this.
it out.
But yeah, so this is just. I did not talk about any of that. So this is just a puff pastry sheet. I've just gone through, pulled the little papers out, and I've spread it out over here with some flour. I told you I was making a mess today, Calvin. And so I've got my little rolling pin, and I'm gonna roll this out. And then go through and roll it this way. And it doesn't need to be super thin for this, because we're gonna go through and do a lot of folding. And again, this is one of those pretty easy overall, if you skip the laminating pastry part. Pretty easy dessert to do, and it makes for these really fun little cookies. And so this is just a cup of powdered sugar to 1 teaspoon of cinnamon is your ratio for this. And so that's all mixed together. Once you have it rolled out, you're just gonna go through, sprinkle some of this cinnamon sugar on, and try not to do too many of them. And you're just gonna kind of press it into the dough a little bit.
And that's powdered sugar?
This is not powdered sugar, this is normal sugar. This is just regular granulated
Could
sugar.
make too much noise for powdered sugar.
Yeah. If my powdered sugar sounded like this, I'd be a little worried, I'm not gonna lie. And so then you're gonna take the rolling pin and again, just press it back in. I pressed it a little bit with my hand, but let's make sure we get it in the rest of the way. And then we're gonna go through and we're actually gonna flip this over. And we're just gonna repeat the process. And you essentially do this all the way through with the palmiers. And these are again just a French pastry. The French love laminating things. That's how we ended up with croissants and everything. But this is one of their more simple ones. And so again, just pressing all that sugar into the pastry. And I'm just gonna turn it over. And so from here, once you have all the sugar on both sides, you're just gonna go through and you're gonna bring everything to the middle. And then we're gonna repeat the process with scissors. So once again, just pull some of that out, make sure you get all of it. Don't wanna leave anybody out. It's really important to make sure you get all of the cinnamon sugar and all the layers, so that way whenever you go through and bake it, it actually helps crystallize and create the little crunch that you're tasting in the cookie. And so we're just gonna go through and bring it back in again. And then we're gonna do cinnamon sugar again.
Kind of like cinnamon roll.
Kind of. Kind of.
That's how we did our cinnamon rolls when I was working at a restaurant shop.
Oh, fair enough. And so then you go through, and you've got this, and now I've just folded it in half. And so if you're looking at it, you can kind of see the little bit of heart shape that we've already got going on. Now, depending on what tools you have, you can use scissors, or you can use like a bench scraper, or just a knife to go through and cut. I'm just gonna cut this part off. I forgot my bench scraper, so we're using scissors. And then you just go through and cut kind of like little 1-inch strips. And then you just put them out on your cutting board. Just kind of like that. And so this is what it's gonna look like essentially. I'm gonna bring that around to show you guys. It looks sad and flattened right now. If you wanna look at that, you can. And then you guys kind of pass that around. And so it looks like that until it bakes. And then once it bakes, you get all those layers that puff out with it. And then you end up with something that looks more like
What you have?
what you have, like these little guys. And so that's what it ends up. It always looks like little hearts. Like I said, another word for it is elephant ears because they kind of look like bull ears. But that's essentially the palmiers. And it's just another little quick one. They take about 8 minutes on each side to bake. So you go through, you bake them, and then flip them. It's like 350, 8 minutes on one side, then go through halfway through, flip, and then 8 minutes again, and then they're done. So in about 16 minutes, bake time, and then honestly about maybe 5 ahead of that, and then you've got fun little cookies that you can put out. They'd be great on like a little dessert charcuterie board if you wanted to. You could use them as a dip for your pumpkin fluff dip. Lots of different ways to use them. So that's 2 like fun, simple desserts that you could do easily at home or wherever you are.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions I can help answer about any
If
of
I
it?
had thought about dipping that into this, pumpkin, I would have.
That's fair, yeah.
So how many pumpkin pies will you make between now and Thanksgiving?
We
Estimate.
have 55 going out this week alone.
This week?
This week alone. In that little bitty shop that we got going on.
I know.
We're trying to hit 100 pies. We're 4 pies away from doing 100 pies in total before Thanksgiving. So if anybody needs to order pie, I got 4 more. 4 more that I need to hit my goal. But that's what we're doing. We've also do pumpkin rolls. We do cakes for Thanksgiving. So we've got pies, pumpkin rolls, cakes. We've got Croatian lapizza rolls that we're doing for Thanksgiving this year. We did that as part of our Food Around the World series this year. And me and my whole staff fell in love with the little Croatian rolls. And so we're like, we gotta do them for Thanksgiving. And so we're gonna be doing those. We actually have those going out for a catering order that we're doing tomorrow. And yeah, there's just a whole list. If you're on Facebook, you can find our like pre-order list. We're taking orders for that until the 23rd, which is Saturday. So there's still time. Not a lot of time, but there's still time to get an order in. And we'll help you if you can. And if not, hopefully this helped you.
How much are the pies, Tim?
So the pies are flat rate, like 20 all the way across. So it's 20 for apple, pumpkin, pecan. We have peanut butter pies. We've got cookie butter pies. If you want a pumpkin fluff pie, I'll make it for you if you don't want to make it yourself. So. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Happy to be here. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.